start this. Then we're going to see if the comments come up. Testing comments. It's actually coming up. Okay. So we need to check we're both on live. I can't assume we're live, so. And we're live. And the comment does show up from Facebook. The other thing I want to check is we're actually live in the other channels, which we are. And we'll drop those channels into the comments. And we are. Okay, so let's transition back to this camera angle with multiple views. They don't have this third one going. I need to also double check the audio with the where's the video? What's that? Getting called, sorry. May have to turn on the do not disturb on these phones. Just trying to turn on the one camera there, and it should work. There we go, we're on. Okay, so what are we doing? We're going to first listen for the audio on Facebook. So one of these cameras bye. So one of these cameras just died. We'll just stick to two cameras for now. So we have to disable one. Just making sure it's entering. Turn on the camera. The camera should be on. There we go. We're gonna actually have to disable one of the cameras to be able to see what's going on Facebook, because right now it is not working the way I want it. Unless let's actually use the desktop. If it opens right. Oh. hear it. Mic check test. Mic check test. Graphic isn't as great, but at least it's works. And there's a slight delay. So what I wanted to do was, we are streaming to two other sites other than Facebook. So we're gonna go here. Nope. First we go to men. Again. Is that? I think it died. We had a dead one. Because we lost connectivity because we tried multi-stream. There's not enough bandwidth. Okay, so we're gonna have to copy this here, put it in here. This is the first one example of the first channel that we're multi-streaming to. Next one is Periscope. Should be able to hear them here. Next is the Periscope, like so. And last but not least, the YouTube channel. Need to change here. And we are live on YouTube. There you go. So it's multicasting not only to Facebook, but to those three other channels. Alright, so while we're live, we can showcase what we can do with live features. It's a little choppy on StreamYard because of the way it's shared. As long as there's not enough graphic moves. What if we had it so that it's one camera? So let's change it. That's one camera. Heck, we'll change it on the fly here. Just push toggle switch like so. And then select. It's not toggling. There we go, toggled. I want the phone camera because I think that's the Samsung one. Here we go. So one camera. So it should be a little bit better. Stationary image. Oh, just double checking the stream. Like I said, it's not perfect, but okay, so it's not the best image quality on Facebook because of the way it's streamed, but the other destinations looks clear. Alright, now what I wanted to show was the capabilities of at least switching cameras. But it's done on the phone instead of the desktop. So I'm going to switch to this phone. Just make sure that it's screen sharing. Again, it's not as clear on the StreamYard because of the way it's being shared, but at least it works. So what I wanted to showcase was the ability to switch cameras on the fly using the phone. So this is the webcam looking at the looking at my living room, and this is the second phone that I'm using as a webcam, just giving it a thumbs up. And of course this is the phone that's on me, and I should be able to toggle the camera, but let's do this. Let's take it another notch up. I'm gonna make the camera as far as possible from me, stand up and move into the camera shot of the living room camera, and say hello to the little kitty. Hello kitty, it's okay, just saying you're a star. And then go back to the desk. Oh, did it wrong. Let's do that again. So I was actually just showing me, but let's actually show the living room shot, which is right here. Hi folks, and this is my cat. He's gonna be internet famous. Well, not exactly, he's just a regular cat. So let's switch back. So again, the quality on the phone isn't as great because of the way it's shared into StreamYard, but at least I can hear the audio, which is what I guess a lot of people are. Okay, so just say hello to the family. Hello folks, and just pull up the comments. And then what else? Oh, we need to switch back to different view. There we go. So we need to tile this view again. And what else can we do here? Well, what we could do is play a small little game. And see if we can get it to work, because I was having trouble with it last time. There we go. Right, we got it working, this audio. But it's really low. I don't even know it's coming across Facebook. Let's see here. So it's having trouble with it. We got it working, this audio. But it's really low. We're gonna do this one. Hello, Mr. Frank. Thank you for liking my video. Just experimenting, nothing really serious, but a lot of great discoveries are done with experiments. Just trying to select the right scene to screen share here. This one should be the best one. But I have to turn off the web captioner. Save the Facebook chat. Oh yeah, we should. It doesn't have the chat though. Well, it's not perfect, but we don't need the Facebook chat here for now. Just enough to say howdy again. Testing chat. See if that shows up. Yes, it does, but it's not going to show up on the other scene. So we're going to transition to this other scene. Is it transitioning to different slideshows? Yes, it is. Okay. Just do one round of this. The camera I want probably is this one. But it's not clear. So when I get that camera in there, it's the desktop camera. Oh well. So that is the desktop. Okay, I don't have that much time. It's already 6:30. Let's pause for a commercial break. So one of the things I help, or these do, on Sundays for my local church is stream for Inglewood Southside Christian Church. We handled the audio video. There is a team of people handling the streams. The max the whole team can handle should be 3, but there's other helpers that help pull the stream off with success. We just put the software and stuff together. So again, we do live stream for our local church, and there you go. Now the reason why I'm pausing is because I need to take some life-saving medicine. Everyone should be mindful of their health. I'm just recently doing that at the moment. It isn't perfect, but I just need some quick liquids. Okay, so that is the scene. Transition back. So what I wanted to do was use one of the okay. I wanted this scene, but the desktop capture the whole thing. Oh, that could work, I guess. Just have to make it smaller. Okay. Small enough. Okay, so we got that working. Let's see. Did it freeze? So it should be this one. No. It should be this one. No. No, it's this one. Okay. So I'm actually gonna look off to the left. But in order for the angle to be there, the camera has to be there. It has to be adjusted later. So just gonna play one round of this game, just so that we can show you the capabilities of what I could do. So here we go. This is, I guess, a favorite one. And try to get it through quickly. I do apologize, I can't do Tetris like a pro anymore because I haven't practiced this game so long. But it is fun and relaxing to play. Alright, so I'm just trying to get through a round of Tetris. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess this is bad luck. Yeah. Yeah, this is really bad. Look at that. That's just really bad Tetrising. Okay. Oops. There it goes. Okay. Let's just end this round because I'm not really concentrating because I'm just messing up big time. wasn't even paying attention. I cleared a couple of spaces. Hold on. Oh, spoke too soon. Take it. Double. Ah! Okay, we're gonna end this. I said I was gonna end it before because it was really bad. Yeah, we got through it. Yay! And no touches. It's okay. So we're gonna pause again for our station identification. Oh, it's still going. So let me just turn that off. And change here. Let me check why the logo is not showing. But what I want to do again is we do have a special event going on for this local church body. And let me see if I can find this work. Yeah, I think I can use this. The only thing is I have to make sure this is at the bottom. That comes up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find first the link that needs to be shown here. And yes, it is. So we do have a Thanksgiving event that's happening for this local church, and the hours is from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Inglewood Southside Christian Church. And you can actually, I don't know if I can tag them here. Oh, that's actually just dropped photo that's being shown in here in the comments. So that's where, just click on the link there and you should be able to come up with the comments. So there's the Thanksgiving dinner that's happening for Inglewood Southside. There is where the comments would be. Okay, let's transition back to the good old desktop camera. Multi-view it again. And there you go. Now what else can we do in the 30 minutes that I just went live. I think what I'd like to show is that this site is actually live on my webpage. So let's just transition here. Maybe do this a little. Yeah, so I'm going to my webpage, but it's not live on my channel. It's live on the church channel because that's where we're testing it from. But it's not live on my channel. It's live we on could the just channel because that's where we're testing it from. This is my channel, but it's not live on my but the other thing is the church page should be live too. Oh boy. But it's all for experimenting. Just testing again the capabilities of what we have. And I keep forgetting not to look. It's just through so many cameras. Just testing the capabilities of what we have. And just making sure things work properly. Okay. That is live on the church webpage. Okay. That is live on the church webpage. Let's go back here. That is live on the church webpage. Back to the thing. Let's go back here. Back to the thing. Let's go back here. The reason why I wanted to do this was to show a friend of mine that it is possible to go live on 3 or 4 platforms if you set it up properly. So this, copy this example, go live on 3 or 4 platforms. Send him a message. So here. Where is that example? Oh, here we go. Let's actually send it to voice. Let's see if he's actually interested. Okay, so I'm just gonna text to my friends here. Okay, here we go. So what else can we do? Not much else we can do in 35 minutes time. I can just review the video. I'm frozen in one video. It's fine. Check the quality here, 75%. What else can we do? So I should show the video game quality. I could probably screen share some Linux stuff, but it's not as exciting. Let's just show the uptime. Nope. That could work. That could work. Oh, let's see how much. Wow. That is pretty neat. What I'm showing here, folks, is, let me just share it quickly, is that StreamYard normally runs in Chrome, which it does, and it takes less memory. Very impressive. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. So slow this. I don't know if people are interested in the memory being used on the opposite end, because I don't think I have it capturing the task manager. Let's find it. I think this is the one. Just turn off the web captioner. Okay, this could work. Just transition here, shows in the resources it's running, and transition back. That's pretty neat. What else could we do? Nothing else we could do other than be able to set this up in another location other than my house. The house is more about practicing. Alright. So we can end here. Thank you again for coming in. And see you guys next time.